Nice.
Kiss Corner, you all. Welcome to the show. I'm RT Bear, and this is for an hour. The next hour, we're going to be talking about a bunch of Kiss stuff. And with us, we have Kevin Conrad, we have Scott Palacios, and we have Taylor Grosso, a.k.a. Tag. How are you guys?
Great.
Yeah, man. Doing great. Looking forward
Kevin,
to
how
the
is it
show.
up there? Cold? Are you cold over there?
It's not too bad. It's 50
Yeah.
today. It got up to 50 today. So.
Oh my God.
We had 6 inches of snow on Tuesday, and it's 50 today. So I'm happy. Yeah.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not arguing on that point.
Hey, did you guys see the intro?
I did.
The Kiss Corner, yeah, it looked cool.
I love it.
I did not hear it. I thought we were going to hear some kind of music.
I know, it's too quiet.
Oh, it had to play out through. Oh, okay. Yeah, we had the sound turned down here. Yeah, there is some sound. We'll work out those things. But yeah, Taylor kicked butt, man.
Yeah, look at that with a big intro.
That's awesome.
If only you guys heard it with the full music. I'm sorry, everybody.
No, I loved it.
Maybe you should play it again for those who missed it. Right?
We'll play it at the end.
Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it as an outro.
Yeah,
Well, how are you guys, Taylor, Art?
Oh, we're not as good as you. We didn't go see Kiss last weekend.
Oh, great show, man.
I
can't wait to hear about it.
I had a friend who went to the Honda Center show, and I didn't even know he was going. We'll probably show some of his footage later just to give you guys an idea of these shows. But I had no idea he even liked Kiss, and then I saw it.
He was afraid to tell you. I think he didn't know. He didn't know.
Could have gone with him.
His Kiss love comes with a price.
The
price of a love gun.
Of a love gun. But that used to be a thing where I don't know why. I remember even being people like ashamed to say like you like Kiss. I remember one time I even went to see this band Art at the Woodstock, and these guys played Tonight You Belong to Me, and the guy wouldn't say who it was. Well, we're going to play this cover, but I think we'll keep it a secret. Why? Why? Why?
Well, the thing is, what's the joke about the Bee Gees? It's like everybody says they hate the Bee Gees, right? No one openly says it, and yet they were one of the most popular bands ever. Like, if no one likes Kiss and everybody's so embarrassed, then how come they're still around?
Where do these people come from? Yeah, like, where are these other people? Kevin, did you ever come across anything like that?
Oh, are you kidding me? High school, man. I used to
like
almost coming down to fist fights.
Yeah,
having to defend myself for liking the band.
It was a thing. It really was. Like, that was a thing, to be embarrassed that you are not embarrassed, but just, oh my God, you like, F you. They suck.
Oh, yeah.
The Kiss turf wars.
You had to prove yourself to be in the Army, right? You had to fight.
Yeah. Here's listen to Black Oak, Arkansas, or whatever was big at that time.
Hey, the drummer, that's the Ozzy live drummer, right? The Tommy
Eldridge. Yeah.
Tommy Eldridge.
Yeah.
That was the best part of that band, was the drummer.
I know.
Amazing,
By the way, before we start proper, chat, if you guys want to join the conversation, I'll be reading your comments and stuff, seeing where you weigh in on all this stuff. We got a comment from Mule166 says, "My cat sprayed my Ace Frehley Kiss solo album. What should I do?"
Oh no, I don't know what you can do. Dry it out?
I hate to say
Put some Febreze on it?
The cat's gotta go. I hate to say it.
You can't say it.
Right?
Are you saying cat's gotta go when a cat's gotta go, or are you just saying the cat's gotta go?
Yeah, Scott, what are you saying?
I know. Cat's gotta go.
Are you saying we need to off a cat?
It's gotta go.
It's gotta go.
Just switch the cover with the Peter solo album.
Yeah. I think the worst thing would just be the smell, right?
God.
Yes.
I think Febreze.
Oh, God.
I feel like Ace would take no offense to it, though.
No. You just say "ack" and then laugh, and then just laugh, laugh. Or when he used to look at himself in the mirror and laugh, I guess, in the early days, and tell jokes to himself, according to, I forget what book it was in, one of them, but yeah.
I have a feeling that Ace doesn't have too much of his scent left. Like all of his senses have dulled and gone away. So I don't think he can smell anymore. At least that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'm sticking to it.
But that should have been the headlines. Ace loses his smell.
He's snowblind.
He's blind.
Good one. He's snowblind.
Snowblind.
You've gone noseblind.
Okay, so should we do we have any news, any Kiss news that we want to, was there a mishap on stage? Was there something that happened with Paul Stanley?
Oh, that's right. We have to show this for it to be truly experienced. Let me make sure I'm rightfully screen sharing.
I can't wait for the chat to see this. Yeah, this will boggle your mind.
Okay, let's do this.
Who is that?
Oh no!
Look at that.
Now that's hot.
Oh my God.
Look at how serious that guy is.
Yeah.
He kept it going.
What
do you guys think of Paul Stanley's hair going up?
What is that? Who is that? Like, which band is that?
So we all know, yeah, that's not the real Paul Stanley.
No. That's Paul Stanley, Kevin. That's the real Paul Stanley.
That is the real Paul Stanley. Right.
You could tell by the crowd. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking the reason he didn't react to the fire is because of the lip sync controversy.
Oh.
So if he was to move away and try to put the fire out, his phone
he can't do it. He's like, hey,
look at Paul Stanley there. He's not even reacting.
I know he's
still put on a show. Yeah. Paul Stanley is the utmost professional.
That guy doesn't budge.
That's a good roadie too.
He is a good roadie.
Paul Stanley has the best roadies.
You know what? That actually reminds me. There was a mishap at the Sacramento show. Something happened, and there was like a delay between when Gene Simmons was doing at the end of War Machine. Going to do the spit the fire thing. He kept looking over. I don't know why. I don't know if they were telling him not to do it yet or something. But there was like a really long time where he wouldn't do it. And he did it, and then he throws the sword into something. He sticks it in the like a, I don't know what that is, but he sticks it in the ground, sort of, and he missed. He missed the thing in the stage.
No.
And it caught him, and they took the lights out right away. Like the lights went down, and you saw guys run on both sides with blankets, and got him out of the way. Got him out of the way, and
Wow, that's so funny because I was talking to Taylor the other day. Like he throws that thing into that container or whatever
that is, and it sticks up. Yeah,
with so much confidence, it's amazing. And I was saying, what if he missed it? And then I was thinking that somehow it was magnetized, like they were magnets, because it lands in that thing so solidly.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that he missed it?
And you saw it bounce. I mean, you saw it like he missed it completely, or maybe that's what he was waiting for. Maybe the thing wasn't out there. I don't know. Maybe.
And that thing's on fire. That thing's
you just saw it bounce and like hit and went towards the front, like the middle of the stage, and then they just killed quick. The lights they just killed the lights.
Yeah, but they couldn't kill that flame. Some first rower got like an extra part of the show there.
And you saw this guy jump on it. Yeah, like they just came and attacked that fire and moved him away.
That fan's hair went on fire just like Paul Stanley's did. Paul Stanley that we just saw in that clip.
Right?
Right.
Ray Thulu says, with the amount of pyrotechnics they use, I'm surprised they don't get injuries on every single tour.
Let's see how Ray feels about the fact that Paul Stanley's hair got caught on fire for a minute. So what did everybody in the chat think about Paul Stanley's hair going up? That was crazy, right?
Right?
After like 40 years, you could tell Paul is the professional, man. He didn't even react.
Yeah.
We're gonna get so much hate in the KISS groups.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
you know
we
what? What does Gene say? Good publicity, bad publicity is all the same as long as they're talking about you.
Good publicity. That's right.
And you know what? For the record, it wasn't my hair that went up in flames. It was Paul Stanley's hair that went up in flames.
For the record, just in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah, if anyone was wondering, go back a couple, or watch this video later.
Yeah.
And you can see Paul Stanley's hair go up in flames.
Yeah.
And by the way, the footage you're seeing right now is from the Anaheim show.
Yeah.
This was shot by Bushido Cavalier, who records a lot of concerts and stuff. It looks like he was pretty high up there.
Where I was to the side, yeah.
It's still pretty amazing. Hey, Scott, did you send us clips from your venture?
We did, from Sacramento.
Do we have those, Taylor? Or did we
I believe we have one, but I'll have to pull it from Facebook if you guys don't mind.
Oh, I thought I put the big closing. Yeah, it was just... Yeah.
You know what? I'll grab that right now. I'm going to queue it up. Did you have... Well, if you were going to rate this concert, I guess, out of 10, what would you...
Well, let's not go there yet. Let's let Scott talk about his trip. It was Sacramento, right, Scott?
It was Sacramento, because I knew I wouldn't get to see them here. And then, I got to give credit where credit is due. His brother, Dion, really gave me the hookup. He, I don't know how he got the tickets, or they weren't, I guess they were tickets, but the company, I think it's the company he works with, they have a box.
Whoa. That was
and that's where my seats were. I was in a box with a bunch of other people, but it was really just me, the guy that I went with, and I think a couple and some of their kids, I think. But great seats. I mean, it looked like it was pretty high up. I was actually it looked a lot closer when you're there. They were pretty good, pretty close, but just gargantuan. Just the show, bigger than I've ever seen. Just bigger, more pyro, more lights. The technology was mind-blowing that they were using, the technology with the projection, the old footage. That was the only time I really got choked up, just seeing the old footage and the Cadillac High, the Michigan Cadillac High footage is just great. Whoever's in charge of putting that together, really good footage that they used. And of course the rock and roll over footage from Don Kirshner and stuff, but they always put it in just the right. It wasn't just playing all the time. It was just interspersed, at the right time during the show. But very powerful, the old footage, and adding that. I know they've done that over the last few tours, where they've used a lot of projection and stuff. But it was just huge. It was so big.
So for the record, you guys, you're looking at the footage that Scott filmed. This is from Scott's POV, and this is the Sacramento show from last weekend.
It's Black Diamond.
It looks amazing, Scott.
It is. Yeah. Phenomenal.
That was really cool. They brought the cats.
I know.
Black Diamond. That was
Kevin,
awesome.
Thank you for saying that. I was actually surprised when I saw that, because they haven't, right? They haven't used those
They haven't used that since then, I believe.
And there were little tidbits of nostalgia that I thought were really cool. And that was the one thing that blew my mind when I saw the cats on the.
Are the cats from Alive 2?
Well, yeah, the classic Alive 2. They used it in Dynasty too, but they used a solid curtain too for Dynasty at one point. But the cats are, that's iconic.
Yeah,
that's iconic Kiss. Yeah. But
the only thing you couldn't really see is you because of the elevation, you couldn't see the floating screens, right? Very well.
No, but they would turn, like they turned and they were just, it was never a dulled moment. There's never a gap. There's just something going on all the time. The stage was so big, it seemed like it was moved remarkably far from the wall of the arena, like it was pushed up pretty far. You know
what's the best part about this for me, because I haven't seen this angle of the stage yet, is that when you see it from front on, or like slight 3/4, those explosions look like they're really, really close. Yeah. But from this point of view, you can see, I mean, they're close, but they're still pretty far back there.
Yeah.
And make sure, I mean, other than, Eric
Yeah.
The other three are pretty close to the front of the stage when they're going off.
Yeah. And it was a
So
lot.
it's weird to think that Paul Stanley's haircut caught on fire
Right?
as far front as he is. I mean, that's a major mishap on stage for because look at the distance there. That's a lot of distance. Man, somebody lost their job that night. I mean,
Right.
This is amazing, Scott. I'm so jealous.
No, it was weird. And it just, everything, more of everything. Of course, to debunk the lip syncing. He sounded clearly like he was singing to me.
Live.
Yeah, very live. And the only song to me that sounded like there was tracks, and I don't think it was for any other reason than to just embellish it, was probably God of Thunder, just to make it sound just more heavy and stuff. That was the only one that stood out to me. Is maybe that in a loop going on, maybe for like I Was Made for Loving You, or something. But it sounded pretty live to me. And him, Paul Stanley, he was singing because he was ad-libbing, and I don't know how you could pull that off, But he sounded. I thought he sounded fantastic. And then I don't know if any of you, speaking of Kiss News, the Whiskey show that they did just this past week. I thought they sounded phenomenal too. They sound really good, and that was
incredible.
And that's as live as it gets, right, Kevin? I mean, they just sound like
true.
balls out, in a club.
Yeah, I agree.
And they sounded great. The set list was awesome. Like I was kicking. Like I should have just went down there and see if I could get in. But what a treat! And they just sounded good. They sound good. The energy was phenomenal. It just blew the roof off.
You could have heard them from the Whiskey parking lot, I bet.
God, of course. They had a lot of gear shoved in there. From what I could tell, a lot of gear.
How many times have you seen them live, Scott?
That was 10. The Sacramento show that would be 10. Starting with Love Gun and then Dynasty. Didn't unfortunately never got to see the Eric Carr era. Vinny, I wish. So it was
How many shows did they do in Sacramento?
It was just the one. Just
really?
one. Yeah. I think they could have easily, if the arena wasn't booked, probably the next time, they could have filled that place again. Everybody just went nuts. It was just the energy. I mean, when they came on, you could just feel like everybody just ready to explode, in anticipation. And they delivered by all accounts. It was a really good show. I mean, they really delivered. So, yeah.
Scott, let me ask you, on the screen behind them, did they ever throw out a nod to Eric Carr during all the past videos? Did you happen to see it?
That shocked me that they did not. We never saw Vinnie Vincent or an Eric Carr. Kind of disappointing a little bit, especially I thought for sure, like maybe when they went into the intro for I Love It Loud, that, or even more machine, that they would show him playing, like the intro of the video with him just play. And no, nothing.
That's disappointing.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that as this tour progresses,
that things will change.
Yeah, they're going to pull some of the nostalgia stuff out, I think, later on. I can't see it not happening.
You're right.
I think they have this tour, and they're going to play this out to the nth degree, or this act, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably change it up because they're going to, like most Kiss fans are repeat customers, like you already said. How many times have you seen them, Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
I honestly don't know. I've seen them every tour since the Love Gun tour. I haven't missed a tour since. I've seen some of those tours more than once. Never more than twice for any tour though. So I don't know. I'd have to do the math, but every one of them I've seen. Plus I saw them before they did the Revenge Stadium tour. I saw them in the Revenge Club tour.
Well, so that goes right in with what I was saying then, because there's a lot of Kiss fans that will see them multiple times.
Yeah.
Even on this tour. So I bet you anything that they're gonna shake it up probably, in a year or so. They're probably gonna incorporate new parts to the act, probably the same stage setup, but maybe different video and
Yeah.
probably cameos. I mean, how do you guys feel about cameos? Like having, you know, I don't know, some of the past alumnus come in.
Bruce Kulick.
And yeah, Bruce, definitely, right?
Yeah, I mean, such a big part of the band, and you know, love him. I know a lot of people go, oh, he never, you know, that's not really the Kiss guitar, but he actually was, and a big important part of that band, a big important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and his tenure. I mean, how long, Kevin, was he in the band?
12 years.
From Asylum, right? From Asylum all the way, you know.
Yeah, and he actually played on Animalized too, and he did the entire Animalized tour except for one show, maybe.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, the thing is, I think Kiss has enough history now that you can break it into decades, right? This is this decade, this is that decade.
Oh, totally.
You know, with different lineups. So I don't think there's many bands that have that kind of history or history, as it were, as this band does. And so I really feel once the tickets start stagnating, or you know, once they feel like they've gotten all that they can out of this show or this act, they're going to start bringing other elements in.
You may be right.
Have you guys found out, like, how long are they going to be on the road for? At least 2 years, right?
At least 2 years.
They're still saying, they're still saying 3. So
yeah, I think originally that's what I heard. This thing's going to take, it'll be 3 years to run its cycle, like the whole, you know, and who knows what and I'm sure it's all planned out. Like the first leg will be what you're seeing, you know, this, and then yeah, I think maybe change it out, bring the Vinnie Vincents out, or maybe anybody associated. What if like even Bob Kulick? I mean, I don't know if that's even a possibility, but people that had anything to do with the band, because you know they played. Maybe not Anton Fig. I don't know if he'd do it, but that would be phenomenal. Like anybody associated with the band, like anybody from the Kiss family is, you know, like to say, that would be wow. I would go to see him again for that.
But see, there you go, because you guys are already saying you would go, so you already plopped down the money for this version, and then you'll go again, and that's exactly you know what they're going to do, especially for a long tour like this. They're going to have to shake it up, especially just for themselves. You know, at some point you get tired of the same set list, because they are playing with pretty much the same set list every night, right?
It is. It hasn't deviated from from opening night.
We got a couple people in the chat that attended the show as well. Level 3 says they sounded live to me.
Yeah.
James tossed his pick right next to me. I almost had it, but an older woman rushed for it, so I let her have it. Aw.
No.
Wait, you let her have the pick, or you let her have it? Like,
yeah, are you
yeah, right.
Wait,
Just get into the whole cat thing. Let her have it, or let her have it. Yeah. I took her down
for that Gene Simmons pick.
Right in front of Gene, I took her down.
Sorry, I had to take it down.
The other footage there.
Let's see what we got. Well, we also have, on the subject of lip sync, we have an article that we were going to show later.
Well, you want to wrap up this part, and then we can get into the review. And also, we have an article that Scott brought our way about Nikki Sixx. You want to read that, Scott? You want to get into that?
It just sounded really. I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but it just sounded really.
We got it right here.
Well, in that case, why don't Taylor can read it, and then we'll let all the chat know, and then you can comment.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think of this. Okay, so this is Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
He's still rocking the headband, by the way, you guys.
And the scarf. Let's see. Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx has called out another band for using taped vocals during its live performance after it previously derided other groups for doing the same thing. And Sixx wrote on Twitter, "Certain band out on the road right now putting other bands down and saying that they are a real rock band. No background singers and other old people cranky comments, except his lead vocals are on tape. People in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. Hashtag get off my lawn. Hashtag Wizard of Oz." So there's speculation that he's referring to Paul Stanley because Stanley, he's been accused of the backing tape and all that during the end of the road tour. And I guess like he kind of has a chip on his shoulder because Gene Simmons back in the day slammed bands for using backing tapes. And Gene's quote was, "I have a problem when you charge $100 to see a live show and the artist used backing tracks." And he said, "It's like the ingredients in food. If the first ingredient on the label is sugar, at least that's honest. It should be on every ticket. You're paying $100, 30 to 50% of the show is on backing tracks, and they'll sing sometimes. Sometimes they'll lip sync. At least be honest. It's not about backing tracks. It's about dishonesty."
Yeah.
Glass houses.
There's the original tweet right there.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about it? Let's go with Kevin.
There's another article. I don't know if that's the same one. You needn't read the whole thing, but he goes on and admits that they've been using backing tracks since almost day one. But he does have a point because there is video footage of both Gene and Paul trashing all these bands that do backing tracks. I just saw one the other day. And again, as I go back to what I said last night, own up to it. Own up to it. Say, look, Paul admits, you want to hear me sing like I sing on a live? Put on a live. So this is what I sound like now. We're going to use some, I don't know what you want to call it, some help, whatever it might be. I honestly don't know if I really want to hear Paul, singing and not being able to carry a tune.
And I guess Nikki did go on who kind of defended that they do use backing tracks in Motley Crue because he said, "We've used technology since '87," and he admitted that he says they use sequencers, subtones, background tracks, plus background singers and us. So he didn't quite put it all out there, I guess. But
right.
But the main thing, like Kevin said, is that they're just being dishonest and not forthright with the information. And then Paul is doing everything in his power to say that they're not using backing tracks.
Well, that he's not saying they have not addressed it at all that I know of during this tour. Everything I think you're seeing is old.
Okay.
Unless I'm wrong. I mean, that's.
I thought Eddie Trunk was saying that they are playing to a track that Paul is lip syncing on shows, certain shows, not all of them.
Well, no, but I don't know that Paul has admitted it or denied it this time around. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I got to tell you,
that's my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's how I I remember it.
The one song that I was watching particularly was of course Psycho Circus because of what transpired the week before with that footage, the infamous footage of him, the yell, and he's nowhere near the mic. And I gotta tell you, it definitely did sound like him yelling. I mean, it was clear that wasn't him on the footage that we all saw. Yeah, that's not him. Maybe it's maybe it's not every show that I don't know. I mean, I don't know that they're using this thing. And he's, I'm not feeling it tonight. My throat's a little, or whatever. But I watched it, and it definitely did sound like him screaming at the beginning. It did. It did.
We have Scott Palacio's testimonial that Paul was actually singing live at the Sacramento show. So that's good, though. I mean,
and the whiskey. He was clearly singing at the whiskey. I mean, he was. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. And then you have just people that just say the whole thing is just it's just on tape and rehearsed to sound spontaneous and opinions, different opinions about it. But bottom line, great rock and roll show, more bang for your buck, definitely delivered. And it was just a good time. Everybody was having a great time. Again, I don't know how many people actually even care about this stuff. Obviously, a lot, because here we are addressing it. Right. But bottom line, everybody looked like they were having a great time. I was, walking through the lobby, and I never heard anybody say anything about being disappointed or yeah, oh, you know, they were lip syncing. Everybody was just on cloud nine, you know.
Well, the thing that still boggles my mind is that whole thing where Paul got his hair cut on fire.
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of talk about that. Like, you'd think that would be mainstream news. Like Paul Stanley getting his hair cut on fire? You think that'd be all over town. But yet it's like, it's buried. So you guys, you know, here on Kiss Corner, this is like an exclusive. You know, that is Paul Stanley, and his hair is on fire.
Footage.
Yeah, that's no backing tracks, people. That's actual fire, and that's real hair.
It's like Blair Witch. That footage was found in a urinal at an arena. It wasn't until they got home that they knew what it was. And,
yeah, so this is an exclusive Kiss Corner, you guys. Like, that is legit, man.
Ray in the chat says, Nikki's not wrong. Let us know where you guys weigh in on this, whether it even matters. I know that this has made a major split in the fan base and all the Kiss groups. It's very much split between people being upset and people really just not caring.
Well, Kevin's got me intrigued, so I'm going to have to start looking at those interviews and finding out what dates those were, because I could have swore that that was recent that I heard Paul Stanley talking about no lip syncing and you know, that type of thing. So we'll see. And wait, Kevin, we have a hard 3, right? Out for you?
I do.
Not for me,
Oh.
Scott.
Yeah, hard to apologize. Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, Scott, we might go long, but don't feel the need to stay. If you need to check out, just let us know, because we still have our review of the first Kiss album. So we can start with you, and then if it goes long, then Taylor, Kevin, and myself can wrap it up. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys want to get into, because we were going to do reviews of each one of the Kiss albums, and our homework was going to be listen to the album and then do a review. So you guys want to go forward with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin, does that work for you?
You know, I could try to pull up the album, do snippets of the songs now that we have the technology.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if we can grab this with the wonders of YouTube.
The wonders of YouTube.
Right? All right, Scott, hit us with Kiss first album, the Kiss album.
Amazing.
So let me just back up to give people some a little bit of you know, I guess a little bit of history. This album came out, what was it, 70 what?
Kevin, is it 3 or 4?
God, man, I want to say 70, probably 74, but the band formed in 73.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
That's probably pretty close. Yeah.
So the song list on the first album is Strutter, Nothing to Lose, Firehouse, Cold Gin, Let Me Know, Kissin' Time, Love Theme from Kiss, 100,000 Years, and we wrap it up with Black Diamond. So let's see what Scott Palacios thought of the first Kiss album.
I love it. It wasn't, admittedly, full disclosure, it was not the first album I had heard. Destroyer was my introduction to Kiss, but and then my brother got the originals, and lo and behold, you had the first album, Hotter Than Hell and Dressed to Kill, all in this one great package. But I love the first album. It's still, like any, you know, Kiss fan, it's near and dear to my heart. The only thing, and it's not a bad thing, is just always been the production, like just the drums. Because I actually like the guitars. Oh, the guitars sound too clean, and you know, they're not crunchy enough. I think they sound great. It's just it's a great record. Just the drums. I just wish that they were just a little more out front, but it doesn't mean it's bad. It's still great. 100,000 Years, one of my all-time favorites. Love Theme, which I saw some footage of Gene actually playing on this last little solo jaunt that he did with his band, which was great. I wish I would have loved to just see. I would have paid just to see that. Great. Of course, Let Me Know, which they had been playing forever and was actually originally derived from a song called Sunday Driver. That appeared. I think Sunday Driver appeared on the box set. Kevin, did they put that on there?
I think they did. Yeah, the original box set. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they've been playing it forever. Forever. Yeah, just all in all, a great record. Produced by, I think it was Kenny Kerner. Is Kenny Kerner or Richie Wise? I think Kenny, maybe.
Yeah.
But who did also Hotter Than Hell, too, and were also two great guys. They had a great band called Dirt, featuring Marky Ramone on drums, actually, at that time. But and a funny thing, I always wondered why they didn't make the Kiss record sound more like the Dirt record, because the first Dirt record was grungy and sort of sloppy, almost punk rocky and edgy. But I don't know, maybe they were just going for more of a polished sound, which they did, which the record is very well recorded, and those songs they're gems, right? I mean, they're just pop little gems and perfectly put together, even with the one and only recorded Peter Criss drum solo, studio drum solo, would be in 100,000 Years. And it's still, I still listen to it fairly often. It's just a great record, and some classics that have remained in the show to this day, So yeah, I love it. It's very, very, very near and dear to my heart as a Kiss fan.
So you didn't get this wasn't your first Kiss album, right?
No, Destroyer was. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the standout song for you on this album?
Probably 100,000 Years. I just thought
the drum solo, right, live.
That, but I just love. There was just something about, even not being a drummer at that time, but there was just something about that rolling groove in 100,000 Years. It just, I don't know, it just grabbed me. It did that, and oddly enough, I know this is kind of weird, but even Kissin' Time, I loved Kissin' Time. I just do. Paul Stanley's the intro with him yelling at the beginning. It's so anthemic and just screaming. It's so rock and roll sounding. But yeah.
Did you know that was not on the first pressing of that they put that Kissing Time on the second pressing of that album?
And it came out as a single. Is that right? Before I saw that.
Yeah. They wanted a single from the album. They didn't think, not them, but the record company.
Yeah.
They didn't think there was anything single worthy on
it. Yeah, and so
Don't you think that song sounds like it doesn't fit on the album as well?
Like it,
right? Yeah, it doesn't. That's a Dave Clark 5 song.
It is. It is. Oh, there you go. There you go. 2 Dave Clark songs, Kissin' Time and Anywhere You Want It.
Yeah.
But it does sound very different. Even the drums, actually.
Yeah, I know that it was written by somebody else, but it doesn't, like, what was that one? Is it on Love Gun? What is that song? Like
Don't You Kiss Me?
Yeah, like that still sounds like Kiss. But I don't know, for some reason, what is it, Kissin' Time on this?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like Kiss to me.
No.
Do you think they just went like, oh, Kissin' Time, it has to be on the album?
Exactly. It's got the word kiss it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I just do. I don't know why. It's just like what I was saying with Any Way You Want It. I love it. I love that too. So the cover, I love the covers. The whole thing as a package, I think, is just a great record. But of course, over the years, they've always been the argument. Oh, well, it doesn't sound rock enough. It doesn't sound like Kiss, and it does. I mean, they're just a heavier, like Paul Stanley, a heavier Beatles, maybe. They're just gems. Those songs are just little gems, all of them.
So Kevin, where do you chime in on the Kiss album?
Of course, I love it. I mean, again, like Scott, it wasn't not my first Kiss. My first Kiss album when I discovered them was Kiss Alive. And then I went back and I bought the first 3 and then the originals, which was all 3 of them bound together in a special package. I think it's great. I mean, this is as classic, I think, as it gets as Kiss. As far as Kiss goes. Black Diamond is probably my favorite tune on this album.
Nice.
I love the outro to Black Diamond. I would just get slower and slower and
Yeah.
slower, and that I just think it's really,
man, that outro is so of the time. It's so amazing. Yeah, we just kind of keep slowing down.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's a great album. And this is like one of those, I think in Kissing Time, does Peter Criss sing? I've been listening to Kiss Army Radio, and I'm pretty sure it's like he trades lyric vocals with Paul Stanley. And that's kind of really cool. Like I've heard that song 100,000 times. It's like the first time today, man. I'm listening to it in Kiss Army Radio, and it's like I've heard it for the first time, and listening to that, I go, wow, that's right. I don't remember Peter Criss actually trading vocals on that, and it actually sounds really, really kind of cool.
It is.
The production, there was a lot of complaints about the production on the first 3 albums.
Yeah.
I myself never really felt that there was a problem with the production. Myself. When you're talking to a Kiss fan and you're growing up listening to this stuff, it's hard not to love it, and it's hard to say anything, poorly about the album.
Yeah.
It's very, very biased.
Yeah. Same here.
I'm just kidding.
Ray Thulu in the chat says most of the songs off of the first album still get played regularly live by them. That alone should say something.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be bummed if you didn't hear Deuce. I'd be I'd be bummed. Black Diamond's always been a big closer, and it's just great. They're just great songs.
Yeah.
Watching this, man, I'm sorry. Ace had some cool moves. I've never seen a guitar player play like that before.
Rock. It's just so rock and roll looking.
The trip.
I can't get over Gene's boots. They're very bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen him wear those ones.
Yeah, they're just normal boots with like teeth painted on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly prefer those costumes over anything that they have.
I kind of agree, and I thought that for this last jaunt that they would go full tilt and do the original costumes. I really did.
The thing is, I don't think you want to see any of those guys in those costumes anymore.
No, they could work.
Simmons, man, he's like 3 times the size that he is there.
Yeah.
He was skinny here.
Yeah, he's like skin and bones here.
He is. He was so skinny.
Hey, go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, when they did the anniversary, I think it was the 35-year anniversary for Live, they wore the costumes.
They didn't wear these.
They were very similar. They were updated a little bit, but they were.
Yeah, they were updated. But even Eric played a kit very similar to Peter's, and he sat really. Do you remember? Like he sat really high. He sat very, very high, and just used the one kick drum. And it was very cool. I saw it in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing in this clip.
They're worshiping him, man. They're giving him strength.
Yeah.
Praying to the rock gods.
That's great footage.
Yeah. So, hey, Taylor, where do you chime in on the first album?
Well, it has the classic of Cold Gin. One of the greatest songs of all time. Oh, look, this is an insult. The ad before it is Coors Light.
It's not Cold Gin.
That's not Cold Gin. So it's got that classic on there, which I think we listened to like 5 times this morning. It wasn't the first. I don't know. I think it wasn't the first album that I listened to. I also listened to Destroyer when we talked about starting this show and stuff, because I think Destroyer's where they kind of came into their own, I guess.
Was that your first album?
Yeah, it was, but like it is weird to listen to the first album, because there's definitely I don't know. I guess they're still finding their sound, and it's like between the Wicked Lester album that we listened to and Destroyer. It's like this is like a weird fusion between.
Man, from Wicked Lester to the first Kiss album, there is a monumental difference.
It's really weird.
Sure. Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It's interesting. I like all the history behind it. Like every time I see this picture, I always think of the story in Paul Stanley's book where he talked about how mad they were that like Peter was the only one that wanted to get his makeup done by like a professional. Yeah. And they were like, forever. And we knew he was never going to be able to do it that way himself. So they were all mad at him for doing makeup that way.
And they were right.
Yeah, it never appeared again. Yeah.
They said like he looked like a clown, like they didn't like it.
He looks like a 1930s like cartoon character.
I think the black is too big around his eyes.
Yeah, and they have those little pointed things on him, and then like the little lines on the forehead. Yeah.
I don't know that it was Peter that wanted this. I think it was either the photographer or something to do with the record company where they wanted a professional to come in to do the makeup, and this is the designs that they put on him. Scott, does that sound familiar?
All claimed that Peter was on board.
I thought
I would have been on board for it for sure. Yeah, I would,
But I don't know whose book it is that says that he was just like lazy and just really said, yeah, F it, just let somebody do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But he could never replicate it. So
no, God, no. So
well, he was knowing Peter, he was probably thinking he was gonna have somebody do it every show.
Oh God, yeah, right.
I like the silver-haired Ace though. The silver hair is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I liked it too. And I've seen pictures. And then Kevin, have you ever seen those photos of where he cut all his hair, like he cut it off?
No.
There's some pictures of him with really short hair around that time, where he just chopped it all off to get that out of there, get the silver out of there.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
That's a very extreme way to do it. But
yeah.
I don't think Ace looks very Mongolian here.
No, very Mongolian.
Have you ever heard Peter Criss?
No.
Go ahead, Taylor. Tell the story.
Yeah, in Peter Criss's book, which is, I think that's my favorite of the Kiss books, he tells a story about how when they were like hiring or whatever, I guess the guys were talking about Ace, and Paul was like, I think he's Chinese. And Gene was like, I don't think he's Chinese. I think he's Korean. And then like Peter in his infinite wisdom is like, I explained to them it was unlikely he was either. He was most likely Mongolian.
He was
the intellectual giant that Peter Criss.
I don't remember that.
Like, why Mongolian?
Yeah, where did that come from?
Well, obviously Peter was a man of the world, and he knew a lot of different nationalities, and yeah.
Ray in the chat says Gene shouldn't have that large cutout in his costume anymore. He'd just look like a sausage splitting out of its casing. Aww.
Thank you. I didn't want to say that. I was trying to be nice, but yeah.
I like the Gene armor look. I don't know.
Yeah. I like the Destroyer armor, where it looks like it's all riveted or like welded and like yeah, I think that looks really cool. It looks tough.
Cool.
It fits his theme the best.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
It is.
I like the first Kiss album as well, and I think as far as setting a tone and kind of being the template for what Kiss was going to be, I think they had a lot of things figured out from the very beginning. I mean, they definitely evolved, but I think that first album showed a lot of what they were going to be. And just case in point, like one of the people in the chat said, when you think about the songs that came from this album and how many of them are still in their set list, that's a testimonial to a first album. Like, as far as a first album is concerned, you cannot take this away from this band. They have like Strutter, Firehouse, Cold Gin, Deuce, 100,000 Years, Black Diamond. Yeah. That's a lot of songs to have in one album. That's more hits, or that's more good songs than there are just average or okay songs.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty amazing. I do agree, Scott. I think the production is bare bones. However, I do think there's a lot of charm hearing it kind of just them, you know, like not a lot of production,
Yeah.
and overdubs and things like that. So I do appreciate that. And for me, I think because I was like you guys, I got into Kiss like around the Destroyer, Love Gun, Alive 2 time, and so I went back in their history. And so when I got to this album, I thought it really sounded slow. I thought the tempos felt, you know, really slow. I felt like the production value was really kind of bare bones, and I remember not liking it too much. And I think I heard the first Kiss album before I heard Alive. So then when I heard Alive and I heard those same songs, you know, that I pointed out, played live, I was like, holy crap. Like this is, I mean, how could two versions of the same song be so different? There was energy, the tempo was there. There was performance. I mean, like if you track a band, not very many bands are this transparent, but when you track a band and you see when that Alive album came out, it did indeed change everything for this band, because it forced you to see them in a way that those albums didn't, you know, prior. And I wanted to ask you guys one, like round robin here. You guys can all chime in, and then we should let Scott go pretty soon. Do you think if this was a modern day band, I mean, styles, all that stuff, you know, aside, but with modern day business practices, it took Kiss 3 albums, basically 4 albums to really break. Do you think that these guys would have just been no names in today's contemporary market? Like the record company would have just stopped?
That's what I was going to say. They would have. I think
And
they would have got dropped. Kevin, do you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. In this day and age,
there's no way. You don't recoup that money right away. It's over. Yeah, I think it's dead.
At the same time, though, there are groups that kind of defy all logic. Like, say what you will about the Juggalos and Insane Clown Posse, but somehow, some way, they formed a fan base with pretty much 0 radio play.
Yeah, but we're talking about like 1 or 2 albums like being released. Do you think that based on 1 or 2 albums in a similar, like, you know, like the Kiss albums were done, like the production and everything, do you think they could have sustained it in a contemporary market?
I don't know. I feel like they might find like a niche fan base to support them, but I don't think they'd have like mainstream success, or they'd grow from there in the same kind of way that they did.
Yeah, but I guess what we're trying to ask is, do you think the record company would have pulled the plug?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like people now, there's a really strange climate for music, because I guess on one hand, you can produce well-made albums on your own as an independent person online, but I don't know if those people actually find great success without like major record company. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a major record company. I'm talking about like a similar scenario to, you know, the Kiss scenario, but in a contemporary setting.
Yeah, I don't even know if that exists anymore in that way.
Well, it doesn't, but I think we got the answer that Kiss probably wouldn't exist. You know, I think the record company probably would have pulled
these days.
the rug out from under them. So I'm glad Casablanca stayed in, and I'm glad they got that live album, because it really did change their entire trajectory.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, well, you want to try to wrap this up since we have Scott tell 3. It's a little
short. Unless Taylor, unless you want to, I can hold. Yeah, you didn't get your.
Oh, let's show the outro before we.
Oh yeah. Well, let's turn up the volume first.
Maybe, just maybe, I can make this work.
Yeah, we're gonna crank the sound because we're using a microphone here, so it's not going. The sound isn't going through the internet. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, is that loud?
I believe so.
I love it loud.
Let me see.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Is it going?
It's going. Wait, let me hit. It's not going. Here, let me hit play. Let me see.
Might have to rewind it. It's all the way through.
I think we have to pull it back.
Yeah. Oh, technology.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Scott's gonna be forever.
Wait a minute. What do I hit the? I did that. I hit the screen and it's not.
Oh no!
Wait a second.
This is a disaster. Why is it not playing? Oh, well.
You'll just have to tune in next week.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wait, one more try. Don't give up yet.
Don't give up on us, baby. We still got time.
There we go.
Yes.
Oh. Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Nice job, Taylor. Yeah.
That is nice.
Kiss Corner. Yeah. So we're moving. We're grooving. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking sometime next year we should have this all down.
Yeah.
We'll be able to produce the perfect Kiss Corner for it.
Yeah, that's our goal then, right there, next year.
You got to have goals, right, Kevin?
That's right.
We're getting there. I think we're a major step above where we started. Now we just got to get this attached so it auto plays.
Yeah, yeah, and we got to figure out how to bring this into OBS because I think those hotkeys or those quick keys, Taylor, they're going to help out.
Yeah, because the thing is, we're going through Google Hangout, so I'm just trying to figure out how we do OBS attached to Google Hangout.
It can be done, but we're still looking into that. So anyway, you guys got a parting shot? Anything you want to leave us with?
I will just say myself that we had our gig last Saturday, and it was by far our most successful gig. We absolutely packed the place, so I think we're drawing a crowd now. They were there to see Kiss. It was the first time I saw a lot of unfamiliar faces and a lot of Kiss T-shirts in the audience. It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was amazing.
Hey, congratulations! Now, was this the new Paul Stanley guy? Is this with the new guy?
No, not Paul Stanley. Ace Frehley.
Oh, it's the new. Okay.
Yeah. So, and he's working out real well. He's a good friend. He was a friend before. He was in the band, and so it's just working out very well. I'm giddy. Awesome. I'm giddy.
That's great. Just like this show, man. One fan at a time, and that's how you build these things. So. Like the band Kiss, yeah, you got to win. You got to win a crowd over, and if you just get one or two people that follow you, then that's how these things build. We need the Kiss Corner army now.
We do.
So if people in the chat do not know, Kevin is the drummer for a cover band of Kiss, and they're called Revenge, and they're mainly on the East Coast. But if anybody's listening, we would love to get Revenge out here to the West Coast so Scott, Tag, and myself can see them play.
That would be
right. We need backers. We need backers.
The West Coast.
Yeah, and we'll all bring our Kiss Corner T-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, good one.
We got to get Scott to get like some kind of icon there, though.
Okay, I will. I'll work on it. Absolutely.
All right, so Scott, you want to leave us with something?
My parting shot would be if you get the opportunity to see them, I would, because they definitely deliver. It'll just really sort of take you back. With all the modern technology and everything involved, there's a lot of nostalgia sort of attached to this show, this current show, and it's just. As a fan, just like with the reunion, it's a good thing for a Kiss fan. It really takes you back to why you love them in the first place. And of course, it's the music too. There was a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just a bunch of fluff, fire and explode." Yeah, it is that. That's what set them apart from everybody else.
That's Kiss.
Yeah, that's what sets them apart, and it is. It's a big part of it, But I again, like with we were talking about with the first album, those songs are just so near and dear to me, and just to hear that stuff, come across, played, and then with this huge show, it's very, it's worth it. It's worth it. I know the ticket prices. I don't know what they are, I'm sure they're up there.
Expensive.
They are. I know, but if you can, yeah, go see it. It's worth it. If you're a fan, it is definitely worth it. You would. I doubt you'd be disappointed. Yeah, as a fan.
So Kevin, when do you see them?
I have not. I've just seen what I've seen on the video. Unfortunately,
I thought you had tickets for a show.
Oh, I do, but it's not till August.
Till August.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was asking. So August, so the summer. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to see them. It's an outdoor venue. It's an outdoor shed. It's Saratoga Performing Arts Center, and it's a beautiful place. But anytime they play there, they can't bring the whole show.
It's small.
Because the stage is too small in the amphitheater.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to see everything that Scott got to witness. I'm sure I'm not going to see all those floating video.
All the screens, yeah.
Yeah, where would they hang them from?
Right.
There's no ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like an eggshell type ceiling there or whatever, but or a clamshell, but it's not the same,
They'll bring.
But I'm looking forward to it. But everything I've seen online, man, with
it'll still be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, Kevin, I was hoping that we'd have some footage like we got from Scott. Which, by the way, Scott, thanks for filming that, and thanks for letting us share that with Kiss Corner. Yeah. So we got to get some footage of Revenge then.
That's what I want.
Yes. Well, there's
Yeah, how's that YouTube channel coming?
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Got it. You're right. It's got to be something because not everybody's got Facebook, So it's, I got to get that done.
So Kevin, try to put something together so everybody can see your rockin' band there.
Yeah. I will.
Okay, so Taylor, what do you have as a parting shot?
Well, we got SMP Media. If you check the links, if you want to check out Scott's stuff, we of course got Kevin Conrad's art website because he is a comic book artist and he worked, of course, on the Kiss Psycho Circus comic. We also have a link for Black and White, which is our book, which is Art T. Bear's original 90s series, been remastered, a completely new book, and it is in demand on Indiegogo still and will be until printing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a Kiss Corner, and go support that End of the Road tour.
Ooh, and we have a big and we're going to launch a new book on Indiegogo the 20th of next week. So we have the art of Art T. Bear, oodles of doodles, and other stuff too that we are going to make available on Indiegogo next week as well. So check that out, everybody. So thanks to all you guys for making this so much fun. It's always great every week to hang out with you guys. I guess next week we'll review the second second Kiss album. Yeah. Is it Hotter Than Hell?
It is.
Yeah.
And any other Kiss drama that comes up, which I'm sure they'll be.
I'm sure they'll be. Oh,
yeah, so we'll read some Kiss news. And as always, do you guys want to try to figure out what else we're going to do next week? Any suggestions?
Well, the album review. I don't know. Just keep an eye, ear out for any transpiring drama that I'm sure. Actually, they come through LA, I think, this week. They're at the Forum.
Yeah, the big news this week was Paul Stanley. That was insane.
Hair, right?
I mean, the cover-up going on there is crazy, right? I mean, his head was fully engulfed in flames. Remember Michael Jackson? Okay, yeah, Michael Jackson gets the hype, right? Ooh, Michael Jackson. You know what? I saw the flame on Michael Jackson's head. It was nowhere near what Paul Stanley's was. I'm thinking Paul Stanley's a badass shut your mouth because his hair was on fire and he didn't miss a beat. He didn't even turn around.
Great Hulu in the chat says, Art, you should draw Ace to sell on the auctions. If it does well, Mike might rethink his stance on Kiss drawn quartered.
Well, I think with the numbers that we're generating on Kiss Corner, I think Mike is going to be forced to rethink Kiss on his drawn and quartered show.
I agree.
Ooh, hey Kevin, I might be, if we do a Kiss Corner, I mean not a Kiss Corner, but a drawn and quartered. That's a live drawing stream, and they have, I think, 2 or 3 hours to draw an image. If there is a Kiss themed one, would you be willing to go on and draw live?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
As well as you, man. You should as well.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason I do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's so I just got to figure out, you got to help me out with that, how to get that, like, well, you got the camera over your head. I'm not sure how you do that. So.
Right. Yeah, there's plenty of time for that, but it's got to be
Yeah.
a kid's character. That's the only way it's going to work.
Yeah.
I want to draw either Paul Stanley or Ace Frehley. Not Paul. Ooh, Paul Stanley. No, never Paul Stanley.
Gene.
Yeah, Gene or Ace Frehley. Yeah. Either one. I don't know if you guys know. I'm not too fond of Paul Stanley.
Everybody in the chat, make sure you command it on the next Drawn and Quartered, and tell Mike that you want Art and Kevin on to draw
Ace Frehley.
Ace Frehley.
Really?
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, we will see everyone next week on another Kiss Corner. And thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. And kiss forever.
Kiss for everybody, guys.